This video will primarily focus on coolant production for any power plant build that you are planning on making, and secondarily you can also use it for cryogel production. I made a video similar to this one before, but this build is completely modular. You can scale it according to your need, and back then we didn't have the industrial mixer, which makes things a whole lot easier and cleaner. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. For coolant production, the main machines needed is igneous extruder, two pulverizers, a cyclic assembler with some item ducts and servo, along with some updates that I will talk about as we assemble these machines. So take any temporary block and come up by 4 from the ground and then place your igneous extruder. Now this is for our cobblestone production. So in here we are going to place 3 augments which will increase the amount of cobblestone that will be produced per operation. So you can see the names here: accelerated extrusion, igneous catalyst and pyroclastic generation. And with this we will get 64 cobblestone per operation. Now set all of the remaining sides to none. We want the top side, actually also set the top side to none, and the bottom side is going to be the output side. So on the bottom, place down a pulverizer which will take its input from the top, which is the igneous extruder, and in the augment section, remove the augment for integrated redstone control. We don't need that. Instead, place down the nullification chamber so that we don't have to take care of the secondary output, and then place down 3 speed upgrades. I'm not going to speed this part up, so you can see the names of all of these upgrades pretty clearly. So with the augments placed, and now we can set the sides. So the top is going to be the input, and as we already took care of the secondary output, set the bottom side to the main output, which is going to be sand. So cobblestone will be pulverized into sand. All of the remaining sides can be set to none. And with this, the configuration of the second pulverizer is also set. Now coming down to the third block, here place down a cyclic assembler. So the cyclic assembler, as all of the machines, will take its input from the top and output will be set to bottom. All of the remaining sides for now will be set to none. Now with that done, take an empty schematic and we need to set the cyclic assembler to take all of the sand and convert it into sandstone. So in this schematic section, place down 4 sand blocks like this and they will be converted into sandstone. And don't forget to press the right button. And yeah, with that the cyclic assembler is all set. Coming to the fourth machine, once again it's going to be a pulverizer which will take all of the sandstone, and this time our main output is going to be the secondary output, the yellow one. It is going to be niter. So for this pulverizer, get rid of all of the primary upgrades. By the way, all of these machines are resonant, so they will come with some basic upgrades. Now in here, place down 3 speed upgrades, and now these 3 upgrades are for increasing the amount of secondary chance or the secondary output. So now we have the maximum chance of obtaining the secondary output, which is going to be niter, and the primary output, which is the red one, is going to be sand. So we can cycle the sand back into the cyclic assembler, which is placed directly on the top, and for that, in the cyclic assembler, change one more side to input, the left side. And with that done, you can connect the output of the pulverizer going back into the cyclic assembler, and here with the servo set to ignored, and from the bottom side we are going to take out our niter using item ducts, and this is go directly into the industrial mixer. So the industrial mixer has total 4 slots, and now set the igneous extruder to redstone high, and this will be a switch for turning this entire contraption on and off. So with the lever placed, right click the extruder with a bucket of lava and water. They won't be consumed for cobblestone production, and we are all set. So if we basically pull down the lever, you can see that it works perfectly. We have a stack of cobblestone in the pulverizer and a stack in the igneous extruder. Now let's set up water, because for coolant production we need water and we need niter. So I'm going to use a heavy barrel, because this will help if you are going to basically scale up the production. That's why I set the igneous extruder to produce a stack of cobblestone on every operation. It will be helpful if you want to stack this entire build up. Now in the industrial mixer, set it to coolant. This will allow it to accept water, and for the output I'm going to use a tank, set it to coolant, and connect the pipes like this. And in here, I'm also going to place down a flow gauge pipe so that you can see the rate of coolant production. Now for power, we will need two things. We'll need an HE to RF converter for all of the thermal machines and a normal storage block for a nuclear tech mod machines. Only the bottom three machines will take power. The igneous extruder takes no power. So connect them by flux ducts and cables like this, and flicking the lever on will power all of the machines up. So now if we start cobblestone production, you will see that it ends up as sand. Sand goes in the cyclic assembler, making sandstone. Sandstone then gives us niter, which will give us a constant supply in the industrial mixer. And yeah, I have placed one speed 3 upgrade in the industrial mixer. So it is processing the niter instantly, like as soon as it ends up. And you can see the rate of production is pretty much constant at 2000 millibuckets per second or 2 buckets per second. Now for the power, or basically power consumption, sorry, we have 12.5 kilo HE per second. So that's not too bad, as any nuclear reactor, even a simple one, will produce more power than that. So this was a basic coolant production. You can scale it up if you want to by adding more pulverizers and more units of industrial mixer. And now I'll quickly show you how to basically also add a cryogel plant in it. So for this you will need a solidifier. The solidifier will take water and convert it into ice. And I have installed blue ice mod, which adds a recipe to make ice, or basically to combine ice into packed ice. Now this packed ice will end up in a shredder, and the shredder will basically convert the blue ice into cryo powder, the packed ice into cryo powder, which will then go in an industrial mixer, which is placed between the coolant tank and the shredder. So it can accept coolant from the tank and the cryo powder from the shredder. Both of them will combine, and as soon as I power these up and place an output slot for cryogel, you can connect them up like this. Now the rate of production for cryogel is going to be much slower than that of coolant, because we are not producing ice nearly as fast as it should be produced. So you can add more industrial solidifiers if you want more cryogel, but yeah, this plant basically focuses more on coolant production rather than cryogel. So if you like this video, leave it a like and also subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. Peace out.
Invincible.